All right, I'm here with Stefanie Kebede.
Yes.
Stefanie is an awesome inspiration to many. She is young, but very motivated to build and build and build. And she's built a investment
Company. Yep.
company.
Yep.
What's the name of that investment company?
Yep. So it's Stefanie Buys Houses. Started that almost a year and a half ago, and then now partnered up with my partner now, Skylar. So we just been taking off with that, and it's been super exciting.
That's awesome. Just I want to hear your backstory.
Yeah.
So a lot of people know you because you do a ton on social media.
Right.
And I don't know if you're comfortable talking about numbers, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Of what how with the views versus how much you make. But just go about that backstory. What was your upbringing? Where did you grow up? And what was your family life like?
Yeah. So I'm from Harrisburg, PA, and grew up in that traditional, lifestyle. You go to high school, go to college, so on and so forth. Now, when I went to college, I went to Lock Haven University. I was there for 5 days. I literally had like a feeling like it just didn't feel right inside. I called my mom. I was like, "You got to come pick me up." And she was like, "No, like you still need to go to college." So she, literally, when they came to pick me up, they drove me straight to Harrisburg Area Community College that same day, and I signed up for classes there. So we thought it was like maybe I was homesick or something like that, but I didn't think it was because like I was making friends and everything at Lock Haven. So when I went to I was there for a year and a half, and then I got that same feeling again, like I'm not supposed to be here. Like, why am I in a class, in a business class, listening to a professor that never owned a business before? And those little things were just eating me alive. And at that time, I was doing like drop shipping, so like getting stuff from China super cheap and then like reselling it.
Yeah, I've tried that.
Yeah,
it's not as
it's
easy as it
fun.
looks, though.
It's fun, but it's not easy.
It's very time consuming because you gotta
Yeah.
research all the products. What are they? Are they selling?
Right.
Can you sell it for more? Yeah,
But
that's
I loved
interesting.
it, like another side of marketing. So I was doing that as well. But then one day it was just eating me up alive, and I told my mom, I was like, it was a funny thing. So like I remember this like it was yesterday. I was in her bathroom, and I'm over here just brushing my teeth, and then out of nowhere she's on her bed, and I just say it. I was like, I'm dropping out of college, And
What did she say?
yeah, she was flipping. She started crying too. I don't know, cause like a parent, they want to see like their kid going to college, getting that degree, and that's just that traditional mindset. They want to make sure you're secure, and dropping out, that's a huge risk, right? So she was upset. I started, I was upset too, and it was just a lot of back and forth. But then, my sister hopped on the phone, and she's a psychiatrist, which is funny.
Really?
So she's like mediating the conversation with everything.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, literally. And she's like, just give her a year. And in my head, I was like, I knew I wasn't gonna go back, but I was like, yeah, give me a year. I'll have a game plan and everything. So I did, create a game plan just so it would make her feel more better. My dad, he's from Ethiopia, so a lot of people would think that he would have took it worse, but he honestly didn't. He was more laid back. It was more so my mom. But I told them I'm gonna get a job, and I actually got 2 jobs. So I was working at a warehouse for quite amount of time during the week, and then working as a caregiver on the weekend. So that kept me busy, and then plus the drop shipping businesses. So 24/7, just a recycle, lifestyle of just working.
Yeah.
So like I said, I did drop out, worked 24/7, and then I had a realization like, oh, I just had this money mindset. Like I was just focused on making a quick 6 figures, and God does not want us to have that. Like I'm a Christian, and I grew up in a Christian household, and at that time I wasn't close to God, but something like lit that spark of like, I felt the distance I was from God, and it's not fun. Like it just, it's a weird feeling. I started diving back deeper into the word. I stopped the drop shipping businesses, realized like this isn't where I need to be. I got to focus on my purpose and not on money. And then this was January of 2020 at the time. I ended up quitting, not quitting, but like leaving my warehouse job. I have asthma, and it just wasn't.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't working out too well, but I also knew I wasn't going to be there for a long time. And then of March 2020, I had to stop the caregiving job due to COVID and everything like that. So it was like April during this time. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I have no degree. I have nothing going for me. I'm low-key depressed, not knowing what to do. So that's when I turned back to the Word. I started reading more of my Bible. And then one night I was scrolling through Zillow and I was like, all right, like, why not be a real estate agent? And I just acted on it. I told my mom, told my dad, and they're like, okay, I'll pay for the course as like your college tuition. So I was like, okay. It was only like $300, so it wasn't too expensive. But got that done within like 29 days. Eventually got my real estate license, and then fast forward, started my real estate investing company.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a story. So where do you think you got that drive though? Did you see it in your parents?
Of like the entrepreneurial drive?
Yeah, just to build something. Because not everyone says, I'm starting something from scratch. It's scary, right?
Yeah.
I know it's easier when you're younger.
Yeah.
Probably. But did any of your parents have the inkling to start something?
More so my dad.
Okay.
He had like an energy business.
Okay.
He would have like different side hustles. And when I was younger, me and my little brother, we would go out like in the public with his business cards and just go up to people and just talk to them. Right.
Wow. That's good.
So yeah. So
you don't get
it was
that.
starting us young. Yeah.
You don't get that a lot. Like, most kids are just, they're playing video games at home and their parents are not making them get out of their comfort zone, pushing
Right.
them. So that's great that your dad did that. I think that's part of the reason who you are today, right?
Yeah, my dad's huge in like sales and stuff, so like I feel like that kind of helped. And then also when I was younger, me and my best friend at the time, I think I was around like 7 or so. We would make plants in her backyard and then just go to her neighbor's house and try to sell it and stuff.
Nice.
Make like 25 cents here and there.
That's awesome.
Super young, but I think that's like another thing. Like it slowly, different things build up to like where you're at today. And just looking back, it's like, wow, like I can see like the, different spots of where that entrepreneurial stuff, came about.
So I have this story I tell people, and it's actually some people freak out about or creep out about it. So I used to sell skulls when I was younger. I think it was, I don't know, late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
I had this entrepreneurial drive. I wanted to make money,
Right.
just spending money. It was not to make money, but it was just, I wanted to hustle and do something. So my good friend, he's actually a taxidermist now, which is, it's funny. We went from that to taxidermist, but we got this crazy idea to take bird skulls.
Wow.
Clean them. You could buy these flesh-eating beetles off eBay at the time. You could buy them, ship them to your house. You put the bird head in there, and it cleans it up, and it becomes a skull. Then you use peroxide to bleach it.
Yeah.
But people were buying these on eBay for $20 a pop.
So how much were you getting it for? Like,
free.
Oh, free.
Because we would get the birds. We would use rat traps.
Yeah.
This
is
I know. People think it's kind of funny and interesting, but there's other instances just like that. But that's just an extreme example where I did things side hustles. Yes, side hustles, trying to make things, trying to make money without clocking in and clocking out.
Right.
But that's pretty cool. Talk about, you said you're a Christian. Was your family always Christian, or like how did that? I mean, did your parents teach you that? Were you always in church? Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I grew up in a Christian household, which I'm very thankful for, because some families don't. And, church every Sunday, going to youth group. Also, my sister, she did like dance ministry, so the whole family was like in that, like helping support that. And it was good. But there was a time in my life, like I was saying, where I slowly stopped my relationship building with God. And that's where things start, slowly falling apart. And I realized that. But at the end of the day, it's like I want to do what God wants for me. I want to follow his will, his path for me. So like what doesn't align with what he wants, I don't want it in my life. If like for me, social media, you know, I do a lot of posting on there. Like if God does not want that to be big, I'm okay. Like I came to a point in my life where like I'm okay with things that I don't want not succeeding if it's not a part of his will. I just want what he wants, right? So
How do you find that out?
growing closer to him, you know, literally by reading the word, being around, you know, other like-minded individuals, going to church, being in that community is really what's going to help you, you know, figure that out. And it's not easy. That's where a lot of prayer comes into place, a lot of fasting, discipline. Discipline is huge, and that's what I'm still working on. You know, it's not easy to fast and just rely on him, but once you do, it's like a lot of weight just lifts off your shoulders.
Right. Yeah, I had kind of the same experience falling away from God in 2008. A lot of things happened, and I saw my life kind of spiraling. And it was, I mean, I had a girlfriend of 4 years. We broke up. My grandmother died. I got in a bad car accident.
Oh my goodness.
I got mugged.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then on top of that, it was 2008, the financial crisis and
Right.
stuff. So I took that and other things as a sign to kind of, I then moved to Florida and thought that was my next step. But after going through all that fire, I came closer to God through that. And I wanted to grow a closer relationship with him and start over.
Yeah. And
So-
sometimes like we have to go through those dark places for us to realize there is a God, like he's there, he's by our side, we're not alone. And that's what makes it so much better. You
Yeah.
know, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if you know my story. So I grew up in Michigan. I was just born in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Grew up in Michigan. And then 2009, I moved to Florida.
Okay.
And lived there for 6 years. I finished my degree. I met my wife. And then, long story short, we moved to Pennsylvania after she got cancer.
Oh, wow.
So this is probably one of the clearest signs from God that I've ever experienced in my life. I was searching for a new job because Florida's a little far from Michigan, and then she's from
Right.
Virginia. So it was like we wanted to be closer to family. I got a call from the Cancer Institute in Hershey. Right about at the same time she got diagnosed with cancer,
Yeah.
with a job offer at the Cancer Institute.
No way.
I don't even remember applying.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
And she didn't go to that hospital like for her cancer treatments, or she did?
So we moved, I think it was April 2015 to Pennsylvania, and I took the job shortly after she started her chemo treatments in Hershey.
Okay.
So I was able to, you know, I was working on the second floor. I was able to come down on the first floor when she was doing her infusion treatments.
Yeah.
You know, like it all worked
It
out.
all
Like
just aligned into place.
clearly God said, you need to move to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I followed his, you know, calling for that. And I just see God working in our life ever since then. So as long as you're following that call, you know, things happen.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool to hear your story, and then
It's cool hearing
it's
yours.
inspiring. Yeah.
I didn't know that. And it's like we live life not knowing, but as we look backwards, it's like, okay, like he's slowly putting the puzzle pieces together. It all makes sense.
Yeah, and so my story moves on. Right, I worked 6 years in clinical research altogether. So
Wow.
that's what I did 3 years in Florida, 3 years here in Pennsylvania, and I've always been entrepreneurial. Like I said, the skulls, right? And other things that I've done when I was younger, and I always wanted to work for myself and build something. So I actually started a hammock business.
Oh, no way.
Shortly after moving to Pennsylvania, and that was a complete side hustle.
Yeah.
Because I worked a full-time job. I would come home, I would sew and then go to bed.
You would make the hammocks?
I would make the hammocks.
No.
I would ship them. We shipped them all throughout the
I'm gonna need
the
you
country.
to make me one.
Yeah, I mean it was fun because I got into it. I met a nurse, and he was hiking the Appalachian Trail.
Okay.
You know, it's pretty close here. We live right next to it.
Yeah.
And I love the outdoors, so I started hiking with him, and I said, I would love to sleep in a hammock because I hate sleeping on the ground.
Yeah.
So I bet I can make these things and sell them. So that's what I did.
So
you know?
how much did you sell it for?
They range from $70 to $100 a
Dang,
hammock.
so the profit margin was probably pretty good.
Yes and no, but when you factored in the materials and then the time it took to make,
Yeah.
I did try to partner with a manufacturing facility in Wilkes-Barre.
Okay.
They did a batch order of 30 hammocks. They made them. But I looked at the quality. I'm like,
It wasn't great.
no. Because
Yeah.
when you hand make them yourself, you have full control.
Right.
Full control. So the product business is hard. I think it's way harder than a service-based business, but it was a good learning experience. That was my first dive into actual business.
Yeah.
So I got my real estate license in 2018.
I didn't even know you had it.
Yeah, yeah. So I still have my license.
Yeah.
I tried selling full time for 2 years.
Okay.
Had a family. We got in a lot of debt because of the chemo, and we were living on credit cards. And she couldn't work, so that was all going on, and I was trying to make it in real estate. Figured we could pay all this debt off, but it was much harder than I thought it was going to be. You know, it's very competitive. And so what I started doing is I started taking photos for agents, their listings and whatnot. And that was a quicker
Did you have
payout.
like the camera, equipment at the time, or did you?
I bought a camera for the hammock business. I bought a
Okay.
Nikon. And I've always been artistic. I've always loved art. I was drawing and painting when I was in high school. So a camera is just another medium. And I took it up and I loved it quick. I took photos of the hammocks and stuff when we had the business. So I said, why not just focus on taking more photos for agents? Because it's money that's gonna come in. It's not. I had deals that were closing 2 days before. They fell through 2 days before closing.
That's the worst.
Can you because of financing and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you wait 2 days before closing to figure
Gets
to
your
figure out
hopes
we
up.
cannot
You're
get
like,
this
I'm about
mortgage?
To get this check, and then it's like
Yeah, and I was counting on that. I had 2 kids at home.
Yeah.
You know. And so I started doing more and more of the photography, and that kind of snowballed into Neary Creative. What today we do a lot of video production, like we're doing today, and last year we were in 300 homes for listings,
That's
photographing.
awesome.
So yeah, we're getting there. We're growing slowly, but that's the best kind of growth. So.
Yeah, you got to just build that momentum.
Yeah, for sure. But we should talk about Skylar. You have a partner.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going to get him on the podcast later.
Yeah.
So you guys went to high school together, correct?
We did.
So talk about meeting Skylar and how has he been integral to the business?
Yeah. So again, bring God into it. It's crazy how everything falls into place, because me and Skylar, we knew each other since probably like 3rd grade. I believe we did have the same 3rd grade teacher, Miss Souls, and then we got our first job together at Gator Trampoline Park. So stayed connected through like our whole life. And then I got my real estate license, and when I was going to get it, I was like, hey, because we talked about it like on our mics when we were doing Get Air, about like $1 million listing, like it'd be so cool to get our license and stuff like that. And when I was going to get mine, I thought of him, and I was like, hey, we should do this together. But at the time, he had his W-2 job, and he was like, I'm going to just work on this and then get into investing, when the time comes. So I was like, okay. And then I got my license, and then a year after I got my license, he messaged me like, hey, I want to see this property. Can we go take a look at it? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I showed him the property. And then he was like, hey, after we walked it, he was like, hey, did you want a partner on it? And I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but yeah. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Because I had contacts to reach out to, because I wasn't sure like if it was a deal or not. So right when we left that showing, hopped in the car, called up a good friend, Noah Starry, and was like, hey, I'm at this property. Friend of mine wants to partner on it. I'm not sure if this is a deal. Can we run some numbers and stuff? And it turns out it wasn't a deal. But the next time, reached out to Skylar and was like, hey, we should sit down for coffee and stuff. So we sat down for coffee at Good Brothers Cafe, kind of went over everything. And at that point, we weren't like really into the partnership. Like we didn't have an LLC or anything like that. But kind of just to see where we're at, like our goals and everything like that. reached out to other like investors that I knew, because I know partnerships, they can be tough.
Especially with your friends, family.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure like I'm making the right decision. And after that, we sat down again, and then we're like, yeah, let's do this.
Cool. So are you okay with talking about numbers?
Yeah.
So are you 50-50 with Skylar?
We're 50-50. Yeah.
Awesome. For your social media accounts, do you know how many followers you have between all your social?
I think on TikTok, I'm at like 127,000.
Okay.
Facebook I think shows like 13,000. To what is it? YouTube is 15, I believe, 15,000, and then Instagram's around 10,000.
So with those kind of numbers, and you post what, daily?
I try to.
You try to.
Yeah.
How often?
So I used to daily, like 3 times a day was probably the most I did, but now it's like hard. I'm trying to figure out how to manage everything at the same time and just continue that growth. But I don't know, like every here
When you
and there.
can.
Yeah, when I can.
Often enough to make it worth,
Right.
but not. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you have AdSense on? Like
I do.
The ads for YouTube. What is it? It's not called AdSense, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, Google AdSense. So for YouTube, if we're getting into numbers there, for 15,000 subscribers, how much do you think I'm making? Let's say.
I don't know, $500 a month.
Man, I wish.
$200 a month.
Yeah. Right now, I don't post as much.
Okay.
So right now, it's probably around like $200-300 a month. And it's weird. Like sometimes when I post, AdSense goes down, but sometimes when I don't post, AdSense goes up. So it's been weird.
It's a whole science.
Yeah.
There's people that dedicate their days, their lives to like, okay, what is the title, the thumbnail? Like how do we get the most views, the most AdSense?
Yeah,
that's
a science.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So that's just AdSense. Do you ever do sponsored videos or affiliate marketing links?
I do, but like it depends. So like I have an affiliate link for PropStream.
Okay.
I only like to talk about things that I use. Like I get emails all the time of like, oh, this brand, but I just don't respond or stuff like that, because if I'm not using you guys, why would I promote it? So like PropStream, that's like a main one, and then the CE shop, because that's where I got my real estate license. Took the pre-licensing course, so like I promote that, and that was the brand deal I did. I did one for the CE shop. It wasn't, what was it? It was a while ago, like in the beginning of my career. And I think that was for like $150.
Okay.
Yeah, super cheap. But the nice thing too about the CE shop is whenever someone uses your link, you can get some money. So like I'll use that money because they give it to you in gift cards for like Amazon. So I'll just use that money to get like equipment or stuff I need for my business.
That's awesome. Have you ever done an Amazon affiliate link?
I have, but they don't do too well.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. So like I just focus on like,
depends on your audience, I guess, right?
Exactly. So like for you, like doing like camera stuff,
that could be high ticket items.
Yeah. So it's different.
Time. like, figure that stuff out. I have, when people ask me about gear, hey, what should I buy?
Yeah.
I usually go to Amazon, generate an affiliate link, and send it to them.
There you go. Make some money off of it.
Yeah, I've made $17 off affiliate links so far. So,
yeah.
Which isn't, a ton. But that's pretty cool. What else should we talk about?
I don't know. What do you want to know?
What do I want to know? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? I know you want to follow God's plan.
Yeah.
But it's not, like, you don't know it's God's plan sometimes until he says it's not.
Exactly.
Like, so you kind of just do, and then until there's a brick wall.
Yeah.
And it's clear.
Like, you have to take a leap of faith. You
Yeah.
have to try different things because you don't know what isn't his plan and what is his plan.
Right. So for us, we've been doing a lot of nonprofit work. And I've always believed business is freedom. Like, it can buy back your time.
Yeah.
At a certain point. it seems like it's not in the beginning, but there'll become a time where we could buy back our time. And even now, with as small as our business is, I've been able to travel the world with nonprofits, and I never would have been able to do if I was still clocking in and clocking out.
Yeah.
You know? So we do nonprofit work with the Grace Samaritan. We did stuff with Green Light Operation, Radiant Hope, Lantern Rescue.
That's awesome.
And all these other places. But like, what are your hopes? Are you for your business? Are you gonna give back? Like, what's your plans?
Yeah, so I'm all about giving back, and I guess it starts from when I was younger. My parents, we would always, well, my whole family, make sandwiches, get water bottles, snacks and stuff, and then just go out and feed the homeless out on right by the Hilton, where I don't know, Harrisburg area, where I believe
Zach
it's Second Street
has his event at Hilton.
Yeah, and there's
so
like a lot of homeless people there, and a lot under the bridge and stuff. So we would go out there all the time, feed the homeless, and that just always stuck with me. So whenever like we get money from deals and stuff, I like to go over there with the family again and go feed the homeless. But also recently, we went to Bethesda Mission. It's a place like a homeless shelter as well, and I volunteered there with my family when I was younger, but now it's like the roots are coming back. Like I want to do it again. Just like feeding the homeless, just kind of, I don't know, like being that light to the people that are being like feeling down, not knowing what's next. So that's been a main thing, I guess, just like giving back to the community and showing that.
Bethesda, is that on Front Street?
That's right near the courthouse. I don't know what street.
I'm not very familiar.
Yeah, it's around like, not like Midtown area, but like close to the Capitol, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Would you ever move anywhere else?
I don't
It would be kind of hard to when you build your business locally.
I was going to. I was actually thinking about moving to Maryland because I thought.
Maryland.
Yeah, I thought, because I went to this trip with a bunch of influencers, real estate influencers, to Florida, Miami. And
is that the one where the Tesla?
Yeah.
You're at that sweet house?
Yep,
okay,
that big
cool.
Airbnb.
Nice.
And that, like, when you do different things and you get outside of your comfort zone, that was the first time me traveling by myself without family. I was like, wow, like, there's so much more to the world. It's like, it motivated me more. And I was like, PA, like, just being in Harrisburg, it's nothing. Like, I feel like I could do so much more outside of this state. So Maryland, I was like, the DMV area, now I know people over there. It's like, this could be a great opportunity with, the higher price points with real estate, the commissions and stuff like that. But I thought about that. I was on that for about a good year or so. And then as I started diving more deeper into Stefanie Buys Houses, I was like, no, I think God wants us to build Harrisburg. And, maybe Maryland's down the road, but right now it's Harrisburg. So I can't really build a business if I'm in a different location and driving back and forth. So I'm going to just focus on Harrisburg.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. So that reminds me. These might be some tough questions. You do wholesaling.
Yeah.
Right? Wholesalers sometimes have a really bad rap.
Yeah.
Okay? And there's a lot of shady people. I've worked with a ton of wholesalers. All right, it's very competitive. They all want to flex.
It's a small world though, so it's like
they all want to take advantage of the grandma who's her husband just passed away. She can't keep up with the house. She needs to get rid of it quick. All right, let's see how cheap we can get this place. What do you say? What if someone came up to you and said, hey, why do you do wholesaling? Isn't it kind of scammy? What would you say?
No, because, like, it comes back to, like, my very first deal, right? Well, I can't because that was the fix and flip. But I'll talk about it. So, like, my very first deal, I was calling as an agent. And the lady was like, it was an older lady. She's like, I have mold. I don't think I could sell it, so on and so forth. But I went to schedule the appointment, walked the property, asked, like, a listing appointment. And at the end of the day, gave her two options. Gave her a cash offer option, which we could have wholesaled this and made a good profit instead of flipped it, or the listing option. I said I could list it for this price. It was higher, right? I think it was like 170 or 180, but she wanted convenience. and our cash offer price was like $139. Like that's a big difference, but I laid it out on the table and she wanted that, you know, the quick cash offer, don't have to deal with inspections, don't have to deal with appraisal, don't have to deal with anything, you know, close in 2 weeks. So people like convenience, and that's what you just have to realize. That's why it's nice being an agent while also doing the business, because you give options.
Right. So you could, okay. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it, because if you're trying to stick him into just the wholesaling option, then it's kind of like, okay. But if you say, hey, we can take this off your hands, we could flip it and then share that profit, or we can just list it on the open market and see what you get. Yeah. Kind of thing.
It just depends about like what they're going through and what their needs are.
Right.
Yeah.
It's solving problems, solving issues.
That's what it's about. Cool. Yeah.
Is it competitive? Because I know we've worked with other wholesalers. Well, 3 wholesalers show up to the same property and look at the same property and give the owner like.
And it's the same companies, you know.
Yeah, integrity first. Sorry, Eric. But yeah. Is it competitive?
Oh yeah, it's competitive. That's why the only thing that will make you stand out is your personality. You know, just building that relationship with the seller, but being genuine. Don't just like go there and fake that relationship. Be really genuine, build that relationship, and they'll see it. They'll see who's being real, who's being fake, and kind of make their decision based off that.
That's cool. Do you when do you want to get to the point where you have acquisitions agents? Like, have you even thought that far, or I don't?
Yeah, so like, I don't know. I mean, right now it's like me and Skylar, we do the appointments. Okay. So maybe the end of next year. I feel like I want an office first before that. Okay. Because like I work out of my parents' house, and so does Skylar. So I don't want to hire someone, be like, you can work from home, because it's like they're not gonna have that drive. I feel like having that office environment where everyone's around, it's like, oh, we're hyping each other up, and it's good. So like right now we have a VA that cold calls, and then we have another VA that does like admin work. Okay. Right. So it, you know, with them being out of the country, it's like, okay, we can hop on Zoom calls, so on and so forth. But doing like acquisitions in itself, you need someone to just hype you up and stuff.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, has there ever been a moment in time where you regretted starting this business?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Really?
I like it, because I look back, I was like, wow, like being 23 years old, now like owning rental properties, like I would have never thought I'd be where I'm at today. And I mean, like this is only the beginning. So like I'm still learning, I'm still growing. There's so much more that's out there. So I'm just taking it day by day, but very thankful.
So what were you going to go to school for again? What were you going to go to school for?
So I changed my major. So like at Lock Haven, I was biology pre-med.
I'm a bio major. Yeah. Okay.
I was going to be an orthopedic because of money. You know, I was like, oh, they make a lot of money. Where I can't even look at blood. I get nauseous.
Really?
Yeah, it's so bad. So when I went to Hack, I was still doing that major for a little bit, like a couple of months, and then I changed it to business.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So I tell everyone I have a plan B, and it's to be a PA, physician assistant.
Oh, okay.
Because I have the bio degree, I have experience. I just need to do 2 more years.
So how long have you went to college? Like how many years did you do?
Altogether, I did 6.
Oh, shoot.
I took the long route to get my undergrad. Because I did 3 years in community college, and then I decided to move to Florida. Yeah. And then I had 3 more years to finish.
Man, I could.
Because I was working full time. I was working full time while I was going to community college.
Yeah.
And just taking a couple classes. I was in no rush. And I had no direction.
Yeah.
Because I just said, I loved biology in high school.
Right.
Why not be a bio major?
Why not? Just go for it.
Instead of anyone like talking you through, okay, then what?
Yeah.
And then what? You're going to have a family. Okay, it's going to be very expensive. Okay, then what? Like, you know, talking the plan through.
I don't advise people, like, if you don't know what you want to do not go to college right after high school. Yeah. Like, literally get a job, you know, make some money. Don't get into that debt.
There's so many useless degrees out there too.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
And it's like they throw different classes on you like you have to take. So like me being when I was like in the business major, they're giving me like history, like I don't even know what this class was, but like I would fall asleep. Like it was so boring, and I'm taking like a music class, and I'm like, why am I in this? But like they say you have to take it.
Gen eds.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whole nother topic.
That is a whole nother topic, school and the whole system.
Yeah.
But cool. Anything else? I don't even know how long we've been rolling.
I feel like time just flies by when you're
has.
having fun.
I've got a bunch of text messages now. If you had to, no, I'm not gonna ask that question.
If I had to start all over.
Or talk to your younger self. I don't know. Like, hey, don't do that or something. I don't know. Is there anything you would change?
I don't think so. Just because everything built up to where I'm at now. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't regret things in life. Like I look back, I'm like, man, if I would have done this. But like I really don't regret things because I'm glad of where I'm at right now. Mm-hmm. So very thankful. But for someone that may be in my position where I was previously, I would say like hop on social media sooner and like build your brand, because that's really what, you know, helped my growth with being a real estate agent and then so on with building my real estate investing company. But also it's been great because Zach actually, when I started posting on social media, he gave me that opportunity of speaking at his real estate investing meetup, which was the first opportunity I had. And I was super nervous, but I was like, I got to get out of my comfort zone and speak. You know, I got to do it because it's going to, you know, help benefit me. And just doing that, it opened up so many doors.
That's awesome. With
like networking, so on and so forth. So, but social media led to that because he saw me post on social media. He saw what I was doing.
Everyone sees you. When you come to those meetups, you're like, oh, you're the social media girl.
And you just got to build that brand. And that's what really helped me. So I would say you just got to build that brand for people that may be a new agent or new investor.
Cool. How did your meetup go last night? Was it last night?
It was good. Yeah. We had Brandon speak. So much.
The lawn
business,
care.
Real estate.
Is he wholesaling too? Yeah.
Nationwide, Harrisburg.
Man, how does he do it all?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I need his energy.
Well, he was talking about like systems and just building teams is huge, and that's what, you know, that's like the main thing, just building teams. Yeah.
Systems. We're trying to do that with the video side of our business. Because we have stuff come in and it's all by email and this and that. I'm like, I want an actual system where they go. But it's
good. Yours, how you have it set up with like the online and
so the real estate content side is easy, but we do a lot of commercials, like higher end productions and stuff like that, and stuff that's just out of the ordinary. Like the other day, we had our client that we did other work for, but they wanted us to film a car crashing into a door.
Really? Oh, I think I did see you post about that.
Yeah. So it's like random things like that. So we used 8 cameras. We even had a drone above, and we shot everything in slow motion.
Yeah.
They were testing the door because they built armored doors and windows and stuff like that. The car won. I'm gonna say that.
Did you post about it? I didn't see like the end.
I didn't know if they wanted me to post the car going through the door, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
So,
I'll have to see. You'll have to show me.
Yeah, it's insane. There's these collars, and as the garage door goes down, it goes over these posts.
Yeah.
The post ripped out of the ground, and that's why it failed when the door hit. But yeah, that was a fun shoot, and it was quick.
I feel like it would be good for marketing, though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know.
I mean, it kind of ruins the brand, but.
Yeah. So, like, when we have clients that need something like that, like, okay, what do we do? They usually just reach out by mail. You know, we have clients right now where they did an event at a church where he spoke, and then we're cutting that into a bunch of shorts. So how do we manage all that? You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
we're looking
we're always looking to put systems in place. It's real important.
It is.
So your dad's from Ethiopia. You mentioned that. Have you ever been to Ethiopia?
I haven't. No.
Do you want to go to Ethiopia one day?
Eventually. Our
Yeah.
VA's from Ethiopia.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
So who knows? We may be family.
I had 2 layovers in Ethiopia when I was going to Uganda.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Last summer, so June.
Okay. Did
June.
you like walk around or you're
Yeah, the airport. Yeah.
Yeah. Just in the airport.
The language, Ethiopian language, is very unique. Mm-hmm. I can't really describe it, but it's unlike anything else you hear.
I wish
in
I
Africa.
could speak it.
Yeah,
I can't even speak
it's
it.
very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we flew Ethiopian Air, so
Mm-hmm.
our hostess, all the people that were Ethiopian. So
And it's a flight too, like 8 hours, I think.
yeah, 8. Well, I think so. No, because it's two legs of the trip. Every time I've
Okay.
flown, it's like 6 and 6. So it's 12 hours together
Oh, dang.
to get, because we
Well, you-
usually fly to Europe.
Oh, okay. And then go there.
And then Ethiopia, I think we had 2 layovers, so it was like Europe, Ethiopia, and then into Uganda.
Just being on a plane that long,
I know.
I don't know if I can do it.
So when I came back from Uganda this last trip, I've been there twice.
Mm-hmm.
But this last trip, I ate something.
Yeah.
I was throwing up.
Oh,
I
geez.
threw up 4 times on the way back. I wanted that trip to be done. It was a bad time, but
Yeah.
it was a good trip overall. So
That's good. You going back?
probably so the Grace Samaritan, which I'm part of, they have a bunch of stuff going on over there, a bunch of projects
Yeah.
to how to lift the youth out of like predators and stuff like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on with sex trafficking and stuff like that.
Right.
So they're trying to get them into trades.
Oh,
So
okay.
they've paid for some of these kids to go to like sewing classes and stuff like that.
That's
so
pretty cool.
we went over there this last trip to get their stories. We interviewed them and got photos and some
I'm
video.
sure that was
It
like
really
life changing too. Like
yeah,
seeing everything.
it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
You get a whole different perspective
That's
of
what
we
like
have here.
I think
Like,
that's why I would travel, just to see like
Mm-hmm.
the difference from there to, like the US and what we have.
it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you come back in these states and then you quickly get back to acclimated to what we have here.
Yeah. Sometimes we can just be so ungrateful and
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when you see how much we have here and how ungrateful we are. We need it. We need it now.
yeah.
That's kind of what we are. But well, it was good getting to know you more.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
We've seen each other at
Yeah.
events. We've done some work together.
A YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it was better to it's nice to get your backstory.
Yours
to hear
too.
it. Yeah.
Yours too, because it's a lot
Thanks.
of I didn't know as
Yeah.
well.
Cool. Well, hopefully there'll be more of this, and we're going to be interviewing more and more people, and stay tuned for all those. And bye. Oh my God.
See you guys.